to. Is that a good sign?
We're just grinding away. We got a good group. It was a better practice than yesterday. Day one, we were sluggish. Really not what we expect up to our standard. Today they came back. Coach Jones and the staff, we really challenged them, and just they did a good job bouncing back and had a better practice in regards to enthusiasm and effort and all those things.
In terms of the playbook,
with the retention.
What's that?
Are you pleased with where you are with the retention?
Yeah, for the most part, they seem to have stayed with everything, and so yeah, I would say I said that we haven't really installed much. It's just day two. We're kind of taking it slow, but I do see that they did retain most of the base concepts that we left here in the spring.
Kind of they playing early on with kind of the tempo and speed that you would hope that they would come out with out of song?
Yesterday, no. Today, better. We still have a ways to go, but it was some progress, and we just got to stay consistent, and don't be up and down. Don't have a great practice one day and then the next day have a level of consistency and keep building, until that first ball game. That's really what we're talking about.
Within that, are you seeing some signs of the retention from spring and
there's a few things. There's always a couple things here and there, but for the most part, I thought they retained a lot of things that we left spring with.
You guys have kind of three safeties that have kind of played a little bit of football in this league. Is that a luxury to have kind of some three guys back there and with Brian and Darryl and Byron back there?
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys have experience. They know what to expect. When we're on the road and all that, and they got to share that with the other guys. They got to lead. We're challenging those guys every day to have a great leadership role and bring those young guys along and share their knowledge and experience, with some of the younger players.
Two true freshmen were at backup cornerback. How were Sutton and Foreman doing?
They did good. They were hit and miss. Malik got challenged today, but I think those guys have a good skill set. I like their demeanor. Obviously, they're a long ways away. Only the second day of practice as a true freshman, but they've shown signs that they got some skill, and just got to stay with them and keep banging away.
As part of that challenge,
go ahead, Jerry.
As part of that challenge, just learning how to practice.
Oh yes, no question. The tempo of the practice, the volume, the speed of the game. The coaching pressure, everything, you name it. It's all new to those guys. And my message to them is don't flinch. Just don't flinch. Just say yes, coach, and go 100 miles an hour and get better every day. Come out, set goals daily, and just keep banging away at it. Be consistent with your effort. It'll be all right. It'll happen for you.
We were told the depth chart's pretty irrelevant, but what thinking went into putting those two true freshmen in there, even though it's a backup?
Just that we don't have a lot of corners, and really wanted to see if they could help us. Hey, can these guys help us this year? Because we don't have many. They're going to play, so that's the reality of it for us. And that was our thought, to evaluate them primarily.
In terms of difficulty for a freshman to come in and contribute, how difficult is it?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. At the corner position, they got a chance to learn everything. We're not moving them around. They're just playing corner and trying to learn everything that they can, the techniques, the coverages, the offenses that we'll face, the splits, and the things that go into recognizing offensive football. But I like their demeanor. They're learning. That's what they're doing. They're learning.
How early on did you guys maybe look at this defense when you first got here and realize that we need to find some guys that other offenses need to game plan around? It seems like this defense last year didn't have guys that really, I don't want to say scared an offense, but guys that the other offenses didn't say we have to stop this guy, we have to contain this guy. You guys identified that kind of early on, and is that maybe why you challenged Dan and AJ a little bit?
Oh yeah, those guys got to step up big. Dan McCullers he's got to have a great year. In the off season, he's worked hard to lose weight, but that's just part of it. He's got to go out and practice at a high level. He's got to improve in his technique, and with his level of intensity. And then, did you say Kurt?
AJ.
Oh, AJ, yeah. Yeah, AJ, AJ's, he's the middle linebacker. He's the guy in the middle of the defense. He's got to take ownership of the defense. And, the tempo that we play with, the tempo that we practice with, he's got to take personal. He's the middle linebacker. That's a badge of honor. You're a middle linebacker in the defense, that's like being the quarterback. And so, we challenge AJ daily to be more vocal, and he's done a good job, but just really be that inspirational leader that we're looking for.
John, when you look at your linebackers, it seems like Sapp and AJ were kind of settled in there as two guys. How important is it that you figure out the rest of the rotation, figure out who can help you on that second unit as well?
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. You got to be able to play guys. Got to have depth. To consistently have great energy and effort on the field. So that's critical. We got Brewer's in there. Kurt's coming back. Kind of working in there. Christian Harris is another guy that we really look. Fugate is in there. So we're bouncing some guys in, and they're getting evaluated, and we're just kind of adjusting it daily as we go.
How's Kurt looked? I know he hasn't been able to do, he's been able to do everything, but no pads. How's he look just kind of moving around?
Yeah, Kurt looked good. He does some things. I think he gets fatigued. He doesn't have a work volume that he needs right now, but he gets in there and does as much as he can. Okay, all right, Paul.
You guys didn't see much of Couch this year really at all. I mean, what do you see from the first
I
time?
see instincts. See a guy that knows how to play the position. You can tell that he's very experienced. Our concern with him is his conditioning. He had that shoulder and couldn't do a whole lot, so we got to get him in good shape. But you can see that he's got some good instincts.
I know this isn't something unique to Tennessee, but balancing you want to be physical, but you also know there's a game coming in 30 days and you guys want to be healthy. How do you balance that throughout the course of it?
It's a fine line. You want to have a mentality. You went through in the spring and you bang, and you come back in fall camp and you want to reestablish that identity. But you have to be careful. You have to be smart. You have to kind of choose your spots when you do that. And I think this staff and Coach Jones do a tremendous job in doing so. We'll talk about that once we get the pads on. And you just got to have the pulse of the team. The trainers, strength and conditioning coaches all have to monitor that and keep everybody in the loop as to the level of fatigue. And you just got to be smart. Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
You're playing a different scheme this year than last year. Is it helpful at all to look at last year, what people did last year, given the fact that it is a different scheme?
Yeah, not really. Their thoughts will be, I'm sure, much different this year, being in a 4-3. So I watched it really just to kind of evaluate the individual players and see how they perform. Really, as far as gaining a schematical advantage, I don't think.
Was that helpful to at least, watch individuals?
Yeah, see the guys, see what kind of effort they gave, and to see how they played ball.
You talked to those guys much about last year?
No, I don't. No, I don't bring it up. I don't throw it in your face. I don't dwell on that. I tell them that we're forward thinkers. That was in the past, and we're developing a new identity and a new focus for the future. And that's our intention to move on, not to relive that.
Randolph was saying that this summer all the DBs, when they would work out, get together before they worked out and say, look, everybody thinks we're the worst secondary in the world. That's motivated. So,
sure.
But other than that, it's just move on and get a whole new mindset.
I think the guys should take it personal. They should. If they're a competitor, it bothers them. We should be a defense that has something to prove. That's really my message. We should have a chip on our shoulder, and when it comes to the pride of our defense.
When you break down your units, defensive line,